Welcome to the channel. My name is Kubeir. I'm a CICC licensed immigration consultant. Bill C19 is something else which has been bothering a lot of people. They saw some article and they said, okay, early 2023, and everybody started saying Jan is when it is going to be implemented, and these draws have been put on pause because they want to implement Bill C19. Well, that is not true. First of all, what is Bill C19? Bill C19 was the motion passed in the parliament which would allow IRCC to conduct these draws which are occupation specific. Not only occupation specific, they would also be category specific, and based on this the minister would be able to choose who they wish to invite from the express entry pool. Now this is obviously creating a lot of flutter. This is obviously creating a lot of tensions. This was the document that was prepared by IRCC in reference to motion M44. Now motion M44 was tabled in the parliament by Surrey MP Randeep Sarai, whereby he tabled a motion asking that more priority be given to certain categories of people who are inside Canada and who are under certain occupations. After a lot of deliberation of 120 days, IRCC came up with this particular document. It is called Strategies to Expand Transitions to Permanent Residency. And in this is in response to motion M44. There were total 39 pages. All right, here it is, 4.2. In order to increase the flexibility in the immigration system and address the labor market, this is going to be done via Bill C19, which would give the minister the authority to establish categories of candidates with particular attributes. We don't know what those attributes are, and invite the top ranking among them to apply for permanent residence. So you need to read this in context and understand what IRCC is saying. What they're saying is they will create different categories, occupation-based or different attribute-based. And amongst those categories, they would conduct a draw, and whoever is a top-ranking profiles amongst those categories, those would be invited for permanent residence. The legislation requires that the categories be linked to the attainment of an economic goal, that the minister consult with partners and stakeholders prior to establishing a category, and that minister report on an annual basis to the parliament regarding the usage of the new authorities. Now, which is very, very important, which I need you to understand before you start running around and telling everybody that it will happen in Jan. It cannot happen in Jan. The reason for this is, as per the law, 10.5 here says consultation process. The purpose of establishing categories of eligible foreign nationals under the paragraph, the minister must engage in public consultation. And when will this happen? The minister shall cause to be tabled before each house of parliament no later than the 5th sitting day of that house after January 31st, following the end of each fiscal year. A report containing the list of categories of eligible foreign nationals, establishing an instruction made, and the selection criteria and the process applied for the establishment of these categories. So this is where it says in the law. This is where the law says very clearly that in 5th sitting day of each house in the parliament after 31st of January. So that's the first one. So it cannot happen in January because, hey, IRCC hasn't published the categories, which by law they first have to do that, which can only happen technically by February. So that is the first thing. Poof. Until February, Bill C19 is not coming. Okay. Now the next one, again back to what we were talking about. Now again back to the document which we were talking about, the 39 pages. Now here it says in the second paragraph, the implementation of these new authorities will require changes to the IRCC's IT system. Duh. I mean, IRCC's IT systems, if you were to believe them in any manner, then you know what kind of a fiasco they can create. Look at what is happening right now, like 2 weeks, no draw, because they just could not manage the tier system changes, which they knew they had to do for almost 1 year, maybe more than 1 year. And yet such a mess. The exact timing, the one which has been highlighted in red, the exact timing of the implementation for this measure has yet to be determined. However, IRCC anticipates these changes will be in place by spring 2023. If these changes will be in place only by spring 2023, how in the world can the draws under this new category system be in January? Now, do you understand what I'm saying? Because when you start reading these articles, you let your emotions run high. When you come to our Facebook group, somebody comments, somebody posts, and people just get into a debate when they don't really understand where this is coming from. You have to always go back to the basics. You have to go to the root of where this information is coming from. And once you are there, you will then understand where the problem is or where the information is. Therefore, please, now that you know it, Bill C19 is not going to be in force, in effect, in implementation until at least spring 2023. So when is spring? 20th of March 2023 is the start of the spring. I doubt it very, very much that IRCC in all its fame and glory will be ready by March 2023. I doubt it very, very, very much. Which basically means, first of all, the categories have to be announced. First of all, they have to announce what are these categories, which, if everything goes well, should happen in February. Once you know these categories, then you can freak out if you want to, or be happy if you want to, but then you would know and have a much better picture as to what to expect in the coming forward in the year. However, Bill C19 is, in my opinion, not going to happen anytime until, I would actually go to the extent of saying after the spring. Because I don't have faith in the IRCC's systems. I do not have faith in the way they would actually go ahead and make this happen, because tier system, what are the glitches are, the mess and the fiasco that is, it's in front of everybody. So I would put my neck on the line and say probably April, May. I'm saying April, May. It won't happen before that. At least that's what I believe. That's what I think, only for the reasons what I've just shared with you and showed you. So for people who are worrying about Bill C19, you have 4 more months before you can start freaking out about that. And for the next 4 months, my opinion, my expectation, my assumption is that express entry draws in its current format will continue the way they are. And based on that, and only hoping and praying that IRCC continues to conduct the big size draws, the large size draws, the 4,750 kind of draws. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they cannot manage, they cannot sustain these high number of draws throughout the year. So I would be very interested to see what happens on the 4th of January. Will they continue with the big draw size of 4,750 or even 5,000, hopefully, because they did not conduct 2 draws? Would they do that? Or would they go back to their basics and go back to, reducing the draw size? Because if they reduce the draw size, boy, oh boy, this is going to create a fiasco in terms of the express entry draws and the numbers, because the scores are obviously going to stay above 500 in that case. So fingers crossed, hopefully. So the next draw I'm hoping would be a 4th of January, if at all that does happen. And scores are going to be in the range of 498 to 500-ish, provided they issue 4,750 invitations. If the scores are going to be, if the invitations are going to be less, then it's a trouble. On that note, if you have received a notification of interest from Ontario, don't hold back, don't wait, take it, run with it, move with it. Scores are looking very, very uncertain, and this could be that opportunity you don't want to miss out on. Apart from that, the scores are looking very daunting. The express entry draws, depending on how they conduct the draws next year, are also looking difficult, to be very honest. I don't anticipate they will continue issuing these big size draws. At some point of time, the numbers are going to come down, because they honestly can issue only 50 to 60,000 invitations per year. That's it, over 26 draws or 25 draws. So you can do the math. You will see the numbers don't add up, and therefore the number of draws per invitation, the number of invitations per draw has to come down. And once that comes down, the scores are going to keep remaining high, or will actually go up rather than come down, because of the number of people adding into the profile. Connect with us on social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, of course. And if you are here, then do give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then you got to subscribe to the channel. And therefore, I would like to give out a huge, huge shout out to all the dads, to all the fathers who are out there and who watch my videos. I love you guys, because over so many consultations with different people that I met, I realized it was the fathers, it was the dads who have been watching my videos and then telling their children, their daughters or their sons, as to what needs to be done with their application. And that's amazing. That's incredible. It's incredible that you guys are still doing this, and you guys are doing this for your children. I love you. Thank you so much. It really, really is humbling and touching. Thank you so much for that. Take care, and I shall see you next time. Stay safe, by the way.